Okay, this is math 2. We're going to do 54 and 57. And for A and B on 54, you need to watch the first video in this chapter. That'll help you out with A and B on 54. So I'm only going to do part C, which actually does require that you have some knowledge of solving inequality with parabolas. And I need scratch paper. All right, so for part C, it says that x squared is less than or equal to 4x minus 5. Sorry, 4x plus 5. So we're going to move that into, so you have this. So the first thing I said, actually, if you watch the other video, it should be okay. We're going to set it equal to negative 4x plus 5. That's the first step. The second step is to make it equal to 0 because we want to actually solve this quadratic. So we're going to we're actually going to add 4x to both sides, plus 4x, and then we're going to subtract 5 from both sides, minus 5. So in the end, you should get x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. And then we need to solve this. Now, you can use quadratic, you can use complete the square, you can use factoring. The only problem is on factoring, I can't think of anything that'll multiply it to negative 5. Wait, no. Yeah, that actually works. Factoring works really well. Here's your x squared, here's your minus 5. Two things that'll add up to, or multiply out to negative 5. We'll add it up, you're going to get 4. So that would be 5 and negative 1. Perfect. Okay, so there's a 5. There's negative 1x. So we have an x and an x. Pretty sure that's a 5. I'm pretty sure that's a minus 1. So now you have your factors. You have x plus 5. You have x minus 1. You could do this with complete the square too if you really want to. It's not that big of a deal. And then you have x plus 5 equals 0. Minus 1 equals 0. And you have x is equal to negative 5 and x is equal to 1. Okay, now you need to set it up on a number line. So our number line is a 0, here's a negative 5, here's a positive 1. So we have, from the original inequality, is a closed circle. So we're going to have a closed circle here, we're going to have a closed circle here. And now we need to check. So you have to check, pick a number from here, pick a number here, and pick a number here. And hopefully you still have your notes from Friday. You need to check 3 regions. Pick a number, anything from in between these two, pick a number from here and here, and you need to check. So I'm going to leave you with that. Okay, your final answer should be, actually it gives you a hint probably in here, step 1, but this is obviously not your final answer. You actually need a final answer. So the question is are you going to shade in between, or are you going to shade out here? So if you shade in between, then if you find that the shading for in between is true, then your answer will be x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 5, less than or equal to 1. If you find that the shading is true out here in these 2 areas, then your answer is going to be x is going to be less than or equal to negative 5, or x is going to be greater than or equal to 1. So you have 2 options as an answer. You have to check to see which one is true. So if it's true out here, then you shade that one. If it's true inside, then your answer is going to be that one. Okay, that was part C of number 54. 57. So for each quadratic function below, complete the square to write it in graphing form, and then state the vertex and the y-intercept. So this one should be pretty easy to do. I'm going to do B because if you do B correctly, then you should be able to handle A just fine. So it says complete the square. We've got y equals x squared minus 3x plus 9. So let's see, 0 equals x squared minus 3x plus 9 because we want to complete the square. So this is going to be x squared negative 3x. So half of negative 3 is 1.5x. 1.5x, so x and x, 1.5, 1.5, And 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25. And obviously that's not 9. So what do we need to add to 9? Well, technically we're probably going to subtract. To get... Oh, is this negative? Oh, dang it. Well, actually that won't matter, but it's still the same thing. So what do we need to, in this case, take away from 9 to get 2.25? So we're going to take away 7, no, I lied, 6.75 minus 6.75 on both sides. There we go. So minus 6.75 minus 9 minus 6.75 should get you 2.25. All right, so now we have x minus 1.5 is equal to negative 6.75. Okay, well that's not your final answer, because right now, first of all, you're not trying to solve. All it says is find the vertex and the y-intercept. So the vertex needs to be in graph form. Graph form should look like this. Or in this case, I guess you could say y. So your vertex is going to be at positive 1.5, comma, it moved up 6.75. And now your y-intercept, going back to standard form, which is the first thing you were actually given, if you look at the standard form, your y-intercept should be at 0 and 9, because that's the c part over here. So if I actually wanted to graph this whole parabola, my vertex is going to be at 1.5 and 6.5. So let's say 1.5 and, I don't know, 6.7, sorry, 6.75. I'm not drawing this to scale, obviously. But it's going to hit it at 9. So there's 9, I guess. So your parabola is going to look something like that. Wow, that's really bad, but you get the idea. Okay, so that was that. Or that was 57 part B. Now you need to do 57 part A on your own. Same concept. Otherwise, everything else is online on the CPM Homework Helps website. It's actually pretty easy homework assignment, so everybody should be able to do it.